Alright, so here is my update for, I just finished week 25 of this 18-month Sculpt and Shred program. And so I talked last week about how my diet had gotten kind of off the rails, and I mean, but not really off the rails if you think about it, because yeah, there was one day that I ate like over 4,000 calories, and that actually gets captured in this week's, because I'd done my update last week, a couple days late, and so that big calorie actually gets lumped into, that big calorie day gets lumped into this week's calories. But after that, I did stay on track pretty well through most of the week. I got back to like my regular meal plan where I was, you know, having like 2 protein shakes a day, and then keeping my macros like pretty like where I want them to be. So it was like, what was it, 35% carbs, 25% what is it? Yeah, 25% fats and 40% protein. And for most of the week, like when you average out the whole week, it doesn't look that way, because there was a couple days that, especially yesterday, that I wasn't really focused on getting my macros in line, and I ate more carbs. But for the most part, for most of the week, I did stay under the 1,700 calories. I did stay below the 2,000 calories for every day except yesterday. My roommate bringing home some rolls from Texas Roadhouse kind of threw that off, but it is what it is. Today, I don't think I'm gonna stick to the meal plan just because I don't feel like it. But I've already got my meals prepped for next week, so I'm gonna try to stay on it as best I can next week. But I do feel a lot better this week than I did last week, and that might be, again, like I talk about, just like where my cycle is, my hormone cycle, because just like these last couple days in particular, I have just like felt leaner. Like even though I ate more calories yesterday, I woke up feeling leaner, if that makes sense. So I don't know. And another thing that I've just kind of like been noticing that I'm trying to track is like there's some days out of the month that I'll just feel like super thirsty, and some days I feel like I'm just like just having to pee like a lot. And that happened this week, and it also kind of coincided with, I really need to go and look, because I know I talk about the hormones a lot, but I haven't really like investigated it that much. But whatever the good hormone is that gives you a lot of energy or whatever, I feel like I've definitely had that this week, like especially the last 2 or 3 days. Like my energy has been just like way up. I haven't had like any stress or anxiety, just been in a really good mood. The workouts have been good. So whatever time that is in my cycle, or whatever's going on in my life to make that happen, like that's all been coming together the last couple days. So I'm feeling pretty good right now. I did see some other, so there's a Facebook group that you get to join whenever you sign up for like the program. And I've mentioned this before, that like this is the time in the program when you're like a couple months in, that, you know, people start to feel kind of like demotivated, and the people that make the program are really like trying to drive home like this is a long-term thing, you're trying to make a long-term change, you know, don't get discouraged if you like get to this point and you're not like noticing as much progress as you did at the beginning. And yeah, some people are posting on the Facebook group and they're concerned, they're posting their pictures and they're like, you know, I feel different, I feel stronger, I feel like I'm building muscle, but I just don't look that different at this point. And so I'm not the only one experiencing that. And I kind of looked ahead at the other phases, and I think there's going to be more substantial changes in the next phases. This is just kind of like getting to be consistent, and I have been consistent, go to the gym every day, I feel great. But it's, you know, I'm not really that concerned if it's not showing that much visually yet, because I know that when it gets closer and when we shred, I'm pretty sure that I am gonna see some more substantial changes, and yeah, like I'm definitely getting a better feel for like how to make the foods work, how to make the meal plans work, especially if I'm getting ready for like, I feel a lot more confident that when it does come time to actually get into like the prep mode for a competition, that I'll be able to do it. So yeah, I guess like I wasn't 100% on track with the meal plans this week, but I still feel like I did pretty good and I'm feeling pretty good, and I'm gonna probably try to stay on track the next couple of weeks, because I mentioned before I'm trying to get plans in the works to go do a big road trip to kind of collect some information for my dissertation. And so I want to try to be more on track with my meal plan these next couple of weeks before I leave. I don't even know when I'm leaving. I'm still like, I've just kind of got a basic plan of where I'm gonna go. It's gonna be like over 5,000 miles probably, driving and just visiting different wastewater treatment plants. So I don't know if anybody has any contacts or connections for people that work in municipal wastewater treatment plants, like kind of headed out. It's gonna be mostly like on the west coast. We're gonna kind of make a big loop coming from like Arkansas, and I don't know exactly how I'm gonna make it. I know there's one plant, like the first plant I really want to visit is gonna be in Arizona, or New Mexico. The first one will be in New Mexico, and then I've got one in Arizona, California. Just kind of make a big loop around. But yeah, so we'll see how that goes. I don't know. I'm gonna try to find like vegan places to eat along the way, and we're gonna try to find gyms that are pretty cool, because my roommate's coming along with me, and his motivation for going on the trip is to visit as many different gyms. So it's gonna be like wastewater treatment plants / gyms / me trying to find vegan food along the way. So I don't know, it's gonna be kind of crazy, but I'm gonna try to keep up and at least stay consistent with the working out for sure while we do the trip. It's gonna be probably 2 to 3 weeks, so we'll just see how that goes when it comes to it. But for now, I'm just gonna try to keep going and doing what I'm doing. But I will run through the apps real quick and then get to my measurements. Okay, so starting with my Fitbit. It's been a while since I checked out my sleep. It's been pretty decent sleep. Not really too concerned about that. I've gotten on an amazing, like a pretty good sleep schedule. This is the best like sleep consistency that I've probably had in my whole life. But yeah, so the weekly average weight this week is up quite a bit from where it's been like in previous weeks. So I've shown this before. At my lowest, I was getting down to around 134, 135. And then it went up because I kind of got off track with my meal plan and everything. And then the reason it's so high this week versus last week, so that June 11th through 17th was 136.1. And then I had that one day that I woke up and I had just gained like 2 pounds overnight. Like 4 pounds overnight. And then it went down immediately after that the next day from 141.6 to 139. And then it's just kind of hung around 138 the last few days. So I don't know. And then I was closer to 137 this morning when I woke up. So I don't know. I'm okay with that. Like, I'm not that concerned about the weight right now. It's just pushing through and staying consistent, really. And if I go over to my Fitness Pal, so yeah, so you can see that Sunday I had over 4,000 calories. And then this week, like I've mentioned before, my goal is to stay like under 1,700 calories. But then if I'm below 2,000 calories, I still call that a win. So I did that like pretty much most of every weekday this week. Then I went off with the rolls a little bit yesterday. And then, yeah, I'm just going to play it by ear, do what I feel today. But I think it was okay. Definitely better than the previous week. Actually, last week wasn't that bad. I really just had that Wednesday. I was pretty good on the other days. But yeah, like it's getting back on track. Like definitely better than 2 weeks ago. So slowly getting back on track. And then the macros, like I said, it's been pretty good. I kept it pretty high protein for most of the days. But then yeah, that Sunday, the carbs from Sunday on the 18th really threw the carbs off. But it really wasn't like that bad throughout most of the week. And then yesterday wasn't the greatest, but you know what? It's fine. So I will hop over and do my measurements. Okay, so I probably look the same as last week, but like I said, like I feel leaner. Like last week was just a week that I felt chubby, I guess. But this week I feel leaner, but I think I still look about the same. So what? Wanna say hi? Hello. Yeah.
Do you want Monty yet?
He came in.
Oh, are you videoing?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna get back to it.
Okay. What? So there's how I look. And then for the measurements, so my band around my chest last week was 30.5. I don't really expect it to be much different. I will say I do feel like my chest, it felt bigger last week, like in my tops, but this week it's starting to feel like smaller. Oh, that's bigger. 31 this week. Let me see if that's right. Yeah, it's like, that may have gone up a little bit. 31 or 30.75 is what I'll say. So maybe gone up 1/4 of an inch. And my chest last week was 35 and it had been like around 34. So like, I don't know, my chest is kind of my measure of when I'm gaining or losing weight, because I've mentioned this a million times, that seems to be the place that I gain and lose first. So this is, yep, it's just a little bit over 34. So the weight that went down looks like my chest is showing that there. My waist last week was 30.25, and that had gone up from the week before, and now it's looking like 30.5, so that went down a little bit. I know these are boring because like any of the changes that I'm having are just so small right now because I'm not like actively really cutting, so it's not really having that much change in the overall, but like I do feel it like inside. So about 38.5, so that went down just a little bit. Last week it was 38.75. And my thighs have been staying around 21. Oh, actually it looks like it went down a little bit. Yeah, it's like right at 21. Last week I had 21.5. But 21's been, yeah, it's been like 21. Between 21 and 21.5 pretty consistently, so there it is. That's this week. I don't know if there's gonna be that much of a difference next week because I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. One thing that I think is improving at least like my outlook and my motivation to go to the gym, because like for the last month up until this past week, I've really been like struggling with, I have been going to the gym, but I'll be like on my way to the gym and it'll just be like, I don't want to go, I don't want to do this. And then, you know, I haven't really been pushing myself super hard in the workouts. And I was getting kind of worried because I'm like, what? This is just going to be really hard to push through if this is how I'm feeling every day about going to the gym. But I'm feeling a lot better because I do feel like that motivation has come back this week. And like I said before, like I felt like it was just transitioning from like having classes and being so busy to like not being as busy. And I don't know why like that would affect my gym motivation, but now this past week I've really started getting like my dissertation stuff in line and like being a little bit busier with that and work and everything. And so it seems counterintuitive, but for some reason when I'm like, there's a line, because it's like when I'm pretty busy, like a little bit busy at work and with my classes and everything, it seems like I'm able to like do more stuff. But it's like when I'm not very busy, you would think that, okay, well you've got more free time to focus on all this other stuff you want to do, but it's like it's the opposite. It's like I have less motivation everywhere. So I don't know, that's just something I've noticed. But yeah, a little bit busier this week with my dissertation, and then my workouts were pretty good. So maybe it was just a good week hormonally for me, or maybe it was just a combination of like all this stuff together. But either way, I'm feeling good. I hope this rolls into next week and I can just keep going. So that's it.